Hello, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street, and welcome to my channel. As always, I'm truly happy you're here. And folks, I am beside myself with excitement because there's a rumor going around. There's speculation going around that one of my favorite groups of all time, certainly one of my favorite groups of the 1990s, could be coming back, folks. Yes, I'm talking about Oasis, Liam Gallagher, Noel Gallagher, the brothers who split and went their separate ways 15 years ago in 2009 over a backstage brawl and other things they couldn't get along on. But they broke up, went their separate ways. Both went on to have successful solo careers the last 15 years. Certainly Liam with BDI and now just as Liam Gallagher. And then you have Noel, who's with the High Flying Birds, a project he started, doing very well. But now, folks, wow. How do we know this? Well, there's been a lot of cryptic messages, a lot of cryptic rumors floating around, speculation about what could be happening, okay? A short has been posted at the oasis.net site. The same short is at Liam's site. The same short is at Noel's site. Basically, it's taking this logo, the font used for their logo, and they have at all these sites says 27.8.24 tomorrow, which, as you know, if you're from the UK, that means August 27th, 2024, which is tomorrow. There will be a big special announcement. And the speculation that big announcement will be that after 15 years, Oasis will be getting back together to do a series of shows. Another cryptic message. Liam sent out a tweet or something that said, "I never did like the word former." Okay, so he threw that out there. Man, the possibility of these shows, here's the rumor on the shows, that they will be in 2025, next year, and there will be 10 shows scheduled for Wembley Stadium in London, and then a series of shows at Heaton Park in Manchester. That's where they formed in 1991, Manchester, England. So, right now, that's all we know about potential shows in their hometown of Manchester and the 10 big shows at Wembley Stadium in London. Now, if they do those 10 Wembley shows and sell them out, they will break a record held by Taylor Swift, who sold out 8 shows at Wembley Stadium in London. So, that could be something they're shooting for there. Now, folks, I see that Noel is 57. Liam is now 51. And they have traded their insults, their barbs, their complaints towards each other over the years. But maybe they've mellowed now. Maybe they've kind of seen life for what it is, and their children are getting older. They're getting older. You know, life is short, doesn't last forever. Marriages, divorces, new relationships, old relationships. Maybe they're mellowing and seeing the importance of family, the importance of kinship, the importance of fans who love you and the music you produce, and maybe to give back to those fans again. I'm hoping that's what they're doing here, folks. Because let's face it, I can't repeat some of the insults here. They're so profane, what they've said about each other over the years. But some of the things like Noel on Liam, he said things about Liam like, he's the angriest man you'll ever meet. And things like, Liam is the kind of guy that walks around with a fork in a world that's full of soup. Stuff like that. And that's the light, mellow stuff I can say here. And the easiest thing I could say about what Liam has said about Noel is he's called him a potato. Okay, so what does that tell you? And much worse. So anyway, the reunion, if it happens next year, would be the 30th anniversary of What's the Story, Morning Glory, their breakthrough album, the album from 1995 that broke them through in the United States and the rest of the world. They are so big, pretty much bigger everywhere in the world except the U.S. They're not as big here, but I'm hoping and praying that they'll still maybe do some shows here. I'm hoping there will be further shows, not just in the UK. There'll be some U.S. shows and beyond, because I at least hit some of the bigger cities in the U.S., and I would definitely make a road trip and go see that. Now, that would be just absolutely amazing. Now, are they doing this for the money? Maybe. Maybe it's for the money. I don't know. But I would think you have to do more than just 10 shows in London and a few shows in Manchester to make the kind of money they would want to make for doing this reunion. So I'm hoping hoping is many more shows and a bigger tour. I'm also hoping they're working on some new music. I'm hoping they're working on an album right now, maybe in secret. Maybe they're keeping it quiet. They've been writing songs or whatever. And I'm really hoping they do that, folks. I'm really hoping some new music from Oasis comes out next year to coincide with the big reunion or the announcement. Maybe when they make the announcement tomorrow, I keep saying when but that's a speculation. When they make the announcement tomorrow on the 27th of August, that we will get more details about further shows, maybe some new music from them, I hope. Now, who will be in the band? Let's face it, there's multiple eras, there's multiple configurations of Oasis. Yes, you have Liam and Noel Gallagher, obviously would be in the band, but then you have the original guys who were with them. Paul Arthurs, Bonehead on guitar. You had Paul McQuiggan, I believe you pronounce it, Quigsy they called him, bass player, and you had Tony McCarroll, the original drummer on Definitely Maybe, their first album in 1994. Will any of those three be back? Well, I have to think Tony McCarroll will not be back, only because he was only on the first album. They were never happy with his drumming, and he was replaced quite quickly by the great Alan White on drums, who came in for What's the Story, Morning Glory, and went a few albums after that. Beyond that, you had Zach Starkey for a while helping on drums and played on their Don't Believe the Truth album in 2005. He's also with The Who. He's played with his father, Ringo. He's been in Icicle Works. Will Zach come back for this? I don't know. You also have the great Chris Sharrock. He was the final drummer for Oasis. He's been in Beady Eye. He's helped in Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. He's been in The Laws. He's been in the Icicle Works, World Party. And he was on the big final tour when they toured in 2009 for Dig Out Your Soul, their final album that year. Chris was the drummer, and he was a great drummer. So who's going to come back? Who will be back if they do these shows? Who will be back if they do a follow-up album, another album? I don't know. You also have the great Gem Archer, however you want to pronounce it, Gem Archer and Andy Bell, who were from the final incarnation of Oasis. And they also played in Beady Eye with Liam. What will happen with them? I would think they got to be top of the list to possibly come back for this, because they were also major songwriters on the last couple of Oasis albums. Gem and Andy were big songwriters, along with background singing and playability. They were incorporated into the band like no one else ever was. So you have to think Andy and Gem might be coming back as well. I don't know. I don't know the speculation. All I know is I have been a fan, folks, and these people irk me who slag off Oasis and say, oh, they're no good, they're derivative, they're this, they're that, they're derivative of the Beatles. Folks, the Beatles are derivative of something, okay? Everything you like musically is derivative of something else, okay? I hate to break the news to you, all right? Sorry to break it to you, but anyone you love or listen to, guess what? Somebody influenced them, and they're not 100% pure what they are. Something or someone influenced who you listen to, all right? Elvis Presley, he was influenced by the early country western, the early gospel, the early rhythm and blues artists, okay? And those people were influenced by somebody before them. And the people in the 60s, like the Beatles, the Kinks, the Beach Boys, the Byrds, they all are derivative of something that came before them, all right? Yes, many of them put their own unique positive spin on it and made it special and totally unheard of, but it's derivative of something, okay? So, people want to slag off Oasis and say they're derivative. Say whatever you want, okay? They came around at a time when I made a video not too long ago. I told you I didn't really like grunge music. I don't like that early 90s grunge that came in, and it destroyed all the hair and glam metal. It destroyed a lot of the classic rock and roll artists, and it prevented a lot of the power pop artists that I love, like Material Issue in the 90s, from getting a foothold. Grunge prevented all that. So I never really liked grunge, but the one artist who came through for me in the 90s, so I didn't have to listen to the Pearl Jam and all that garbage, okay, was Oasis. Because I loved Oasis all through the 90s into the 2000s. Definitely Maybe. First album, 1994, classic. Second album, 1995, What's the Story, Morning Glory. classic. Third album, 1997, Be Here Now, classic. And then if you want to consider this one of their albums, even though it was a bunch of stuff thrown together, in 1998, they put out The Master Plan, which is a fabulous album on its own. I mean, this could have been just a freestanding brand new Oasis album in 1998. It's that good. Classic. The year 2000, 99 coming into 2000, I think, Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. Classic, classic, classic album. Love it. 2002, Heathen Chemistry. Classic, classic, classic. 2005, Don't Believe the Truth. Classic, classic, classic. And their final album in 2009, and I hope they're going to work on new material if this reunion happens, Dig Out Your Soul, 2009. Classic, classic, classic. Love it. They have live album that came out when they played a big show at Wembley in the early 2000s. Double CD, classic. I have all the CD singles. I have some vinyl. I have some bootlegs here and there. I love this band, folks. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm speculating like the rest of you. But it sounds like tomorrow's the day we're going to get some type of notification, hopefully with more details. And I will be listening just like you will be. Folks, get on the train. Come to the Oasis, an oasis where you can relax and be refreshed with great music and great rock and roll. It is here. It is here, ready for you, waiting for you. All you have to do is open your ears, open your hearts, open your minds, and you will listen to some of the greatest music ever produced. I love you. Bye-bye.